Hey, right, so where are we? We have this week a Mark Knopfler, not Mark from Dire Straits, there you go. And yeah, these are not easy. As easy as they sound, they are absolutely awesome to learn. There's a lot you can pick up from this. And there's a lot that you will want to almost kind of take really slowly just to get the flavours of it right, the mechanics of it all down as well. And it's you know, you're playing 16th notes at 152 beats per minute, which is not easy to do at all. So you just take your time with it. That's all I can say with these. But if you do like this lesson, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that bell button for all the future notifications, supporting my channel with visiting my Patreon page as well. And you can find the strings that I would use linked below, which are Charlie and John's, and I use 10s. There is a discount code which should pop up there as well. So go and visit that and see if you like these strings. They're great, absolutely awesome handmade USA strings. Wonderful stuff. Let's get on with the licks and see how we go. Oh, but by the way, the last lick is just tricky as, but very cool to learn. There you go. Aha, right, lick number 1 coming up. Okay, so you have this one starting on, where are we? Shape 4 of the minor pentatonic, basically. So sliding through using your first finger with the 5th fret going up to the 7 on the D string. Back to the 7, or across to the 7 on the G, back to the 7 on the D, and then you go 10 on the G, and then 7 on the same string. So notice I'm swapping my first finger from the D string to the G and just flipping it back like that. Then you have a B flat major triad where you're using these double stops, so which is basically 7 on the G, 8 on the D for your first one, but you may as well hold down the whole 3 notes anyway. And then you go into the 6 on the B and then 7 on the G, so like that. So you're basically picking 2 notes at the same time to create that double stop, and the 2 notes are, you have obviously D and G, going to G and B, back to the D and G, keeping your fingers where they are. Pick the D and G again, slide that up a tone up to frets 10 and 9, and then to finish the lick you've got, and that brings you into 5th fret A string, 3rd finger, slide up to the 7, going 5 on the D, 7 on the D, and then 5 on that 3rd string G, which is the C note. And then that should, in theory, put you in the right place for that lick. Let's get on to lick number 2. Right, not for the faint-hearted, this one. So simple as it seems, it's not actually that easy to play. A bit of a demon, wasn't he? Or is, actually, Mark Knopfler. So we have, starting off with the 2nd string, hammer on pull-off, 8, 10, 8. Going to the 9 on the 3rd string. Okay, 16th notes at 152 beats per minute. Yeah, good luck. But it's doable if you tackle it slowly. Then you have a constant run, I'd say 4 or 5 times round, where you have 8 on the 1st string, 10 pull off to the 8 2nd string, and then 9 on the 3rd string. So now with this I'm using hybrid picking. So to start off with, I'm using my finger to pick the 8th fret. Then it's my plectrum to pick that 9th fret on the 3rd string. Then I change to finger on the E string, and and then it's going to be plectrum for the pull-off on the 2nd string and plectrum on the 9th fret 3rd string, and that's the, slow that down, and that's the basis for this lick. Take it slow in all seriousness, because it is quite tricky, but you'll enjoy it once you get there. There we go. Let's move on with lick number 3. So for you on this one, you have the standard kind of pentatonic lick. 7th fret, full tone bend, 3rd string. Then 5 on the 2nd, roll across to 5 on the 1st. Back to 5 on that 2nd, then a full tone bend to the 8th fret. Somewhere around there. To the 9. And then to the 7. So basically that part is your country lick. So you're going to have to hold the 8th fret bend. As you bend that up, hold it there, little finger onto the 9th fret 1st string, hit the 8 again, and then it's going to be to the 7th fret on that 1st string. So and then there's a series of bends at the end, and hold the last one with vibrato if you can. As simple as that, but not so simple to keep your bend and bring in those kind of B bend licks into there, your country licks. There you go. Let's move on to lick number 4. Right, I think I got that right. So you start with the full tone bend on the 12th fret of the G. So and then a further 2 straight up. And third one, but a 4th bend in total, is going to be a bend up and let down. Okay, so then that leads you to a 10-12 hammer-on pull-off. You can pick that 10, it's up to you. Again, these licks, as always, use them as you want, because it's just to give you ideas, but if you want to take it as it says, go for it. But anyway, the 10, 12, 10 with vibrato at the end. I like picking that 10. And then you've got 9, 10, 9. Then you end up with this. It's kind of almost got a bit of a Latin feel to it, I think. But anyway, I think it's just because of the rhythm of it. But anyway, so we're running through an A triad, or an A major arpeggio, sorry, which is 7, 6, 5, 5. So you basically bring in a major element into it with that 9 as well. Then straight up to the 12th fret, bending that a semitone up. So you pick it and then let it down. So like that. Then you're running down D minor. So you come in 10 first string, 10 second, 10 third, and then 12 on that 4th string. Going to the 2nd string with a 10, give that a bit of a staccato feel if you can. So just like that. Then with a 11, 13, 11, hammer on pull off as well if you want to. And then 10th fret, or with a slightly deadened note. Now he'll obviously do that with his unique way of picking, but do 2 10s if you want, or just 1, and mute it with a pick strike muted, up pick for that 10, and then vibrato on the end. I think that's about it. Let's go on to lick number 5. Okay, so for this one, you are basically going to be bending that 12th fret once again, full tone bend up, 13 on the 2nd string, same again with the 12th fret, that is, bend. Then your little finger's going to lay flat across the 13th fret to do two strings, yeah, so the E string and the B string on the 13th fret. Then you've got your 12 again, but this time bend it up and let it down, and then 2 10s. With vibrato, so that should sound like this. Play along if you want, but and again. Then using your 3rd finger, slide from the 10 to the 13, and this is going to end up basically making like a D chord shape on the 12th and 13th frets, so you'd actually be playing as part of a C triad if you like. So you got your 10, slide up to 13, to the 12 with your 2nd finger, 13 with your 3rd finger 2nd string, 12 with your 1st finger 3rd string, and then bringing your 3rd finger across to pull off from 14 to 12 on that 3rd string, and then 13th fret 2nd string with 2nd finger I'm using, and you've got 3 strikes of that with vibrato if you can put that on. That's that lick. I'll leave you now with lick number 6. That is an absolute beast. Right, so where do we start with this one? Well, again, 12th fret bend on that 3rd string. So then you've got the choice of using picking, hybrid picking, but my suggestion is keep this slow to start off with. I mean, to play 16th notes at 150 BPM is pretty crazy. So anyway, excuse the burp. We've got your 12th fret bend, then it's 10-10 on that 2nd and 1st string, then you've got 13 pull off to the 10, 12 on your 3rd, then 10 on your 2nd, 12 pull off to 10 3rd, 12 on the 4th, 10 on your 3rd, and then this is kind of the harder part, where probably hybrid pick through that. Anyway, so there's 10 12 hammer on 4th string, 10 3rd, 10 2nd, and then 12 with vibrato on that 3rd string. Then you get a little bit of a breather, which leads you into 10 12 to the 10 on that 2nd. So that's 10 12 3rd, 10 2nd with your vibrato. Then 10 12 again to 11 on the 2nd this time, and then a nice country bend, which is basically that, where you have 11th fret full tone bend, going to the 12 on the 1st, and then you're bending the 11 up again, letting it down to the 10 on that 2nd. So I'll do that entire 4 bars slower, so you end up with this 3 and 4 and Okay, then that leads you into, on the sheet I've put it down as lick 7, but we'll sort of look at this as one lick. You have this ending part which most people want to play, so etc. So in short, you are going to be barring the 10th fret to start off with on the first 2 strings, using your little finger or third finger to pull off from the 13 to the 10 and then you go to the 10 on that second string, so hence why you're barring it. Back to the 10 on that first string, so it's 4 notes at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing again, but this time instead of the 10 on your second string, you're bringing in the 11. And then you move it up a tone. So essentially you're playing the 15th fret, pulling that off, and then 13th fret on the second string, back to the 12 onto the first string. So you've got a choice of picking it. Or you use hybrid picking like this. Either way, it's flipping tricky. So do what you can, but I'm going to hand you back to me, and have fun with all these. Keep them slow, keep them even, and you won't go wrong. But I'll hand you back to me. Right, yeah, how did you find that? I think there's a lot in there which you can obviously use, and there's a lot in there which would be beneficial to learn just for finger coordination and maybe using some hybrid technique along the way. Obviously Knopfler uses those 3, I think, mainly, and for us to sort of replicate that is not going to be easy, so that's a natural style for him to use. So don't be put off if you can't play them initially, just take your time with them and see how you get on. But essentially all of those licks could be doable if you take time with it, and there is something for everybody in there. There's some easy stuff, some country stuff, some rock stuff, almost shredding to the extent of some of it, and some killer blues licks, right? So if you do like it, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that bell button for all the future notifications, visiting me on Patreon and all the socials as well. Give it a thumbs up and all that, because it does help push the algorithms, and I shall see you next time, where I think we might move on to something a little bit like Ozzy Osbourne, going some Crazy Train or some Zakk Wylde licks. I'm not sure. That might be a little bit out of the water for some of you, but you know what? I love Ozzy. He's brilliant. Zakk Wylde's amazing. Randy Rhoads was awesome. So we'll just leave it there before I start belching on camera. See you later, everyone. Bye.